On the news at 3, Governor Fubara inspects Ngo Atlantic Oyorokoto Kalabema Epilema Road project assures commissioning March next year. Federal government shortlist candidates for NSCDC, NIS, Fire Service computer-based test. Plus, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps deploys 10,000 personnel for Anambra gubernatorial election. Good afternoon and welcome to Rstv News at 3. I am Catherine Ago. Do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is the task we must accomplish. You can watch Rstv News live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Now the news in full. Rivers State Governor Sasim Nalai Fubara has described the 13.5-kilometer Ngo Atlantic Oyorokoto Road project still under construction as a bold effort towards harnessing the potential of the blue economy. Governor Fubara made the remark during an inspection of the project in Andoni local government area. Tamono Barabi Ibulubo tells us more.
The Ngo Atlantic Oyorokoto Road project is a brand new pathway that cuts through rugged coastal terrain and leads to a newly discovered Atlantic-facing beachfront. It promises new opportunities for Rivers State blue economy. The governor said once completed, the road will not only improve access to coastal communities, but also stimulate tourism and economic activities, boosting revenue for Rivers State.
This particular one is another virgin road, 13.5 kilometer. I call it a pathway to the blue economy. We decided to construct this road because we had a beach. There's a popular beach around here that's called Oyorokoto Beach, one of the finest tourist centers. But while we were embarking on that project, we found out that we shouldn't limit it to just that Oyorokoto Beach. But we have another site which you can see. This is just facing the Atlantic Ocean. So we also believe that while we are trying to tap into this blue economy resource, it will be proper for us to harness this front beach. We intend creating some economic activity here that also boosts the economy of Rivers State.
The governor praised the dedication of the construction team and expressed confidence that the road will be completed and ready for commissioning by March next year. Governor Fubara also checked on the Kalaibiama Epelema Road featuring a 450-meter bridge, which is another vital link that will connect communities and boost local trade. Tamuno Barabi Iblubo, Rstv News.
The people of Ruma Hollow in Obiako local government area of Rivers State have expressed displeasure over allegations of land grabbing leveled against a son of the soil. Ambassador Stephen Inyegwa by one Gbenga Oladapo and other landowners in the community. Chiefs, men, women and the youths of the community fired out in their numbers working to and through the Cedarwood estate where the said piece of land was allegedly grabbed, calling for justice for their son. Melvin Jackson has the rest of the story.
At the purported piece of land at Iroko Drive, Cinnamon and Olive Close, the regent of Rumagolo community, is a Sonny Awo Njowo, stated that Gbenga Oladapo is inciting chaos in the family and the community at large. According to the regent, in Ikwere tradition, if a man marries two wives, he shares his properties not to individual children, but to the wives, and any child from any of the wives inherits the properties, adding that Ambassador Stephen Inyegwa is not a land grabber, rather reclaiming his birthright, which enemies of progress has claimed wrongfully.
Man that has two wives, we all know how people do their custom and share their property. So the second wife will get property if he has son. But they came here, our elder apostle, Bartholomew Egon, came here and bulldozed everywhere. Even me, that is standing here, does not even have anything here. So I'm telling the public they should disregard what they said against him.
The accused, Ambassador Stephen Nyegwa, debunked Benga's claims, saying Benga Oladapo is not an indigene and has no right whatsoever to accuse him of grabbing land that rightfully belonged to him. Ambassador Nyegwa had called on the Directorate of Security Service and other relevant authorities to invite both parties for questioning as to ascertain the true owner of the said property, as Benga is working with a family member who was busy selling off portions of the land in question, even when it was under litigation.
My other sister, this is the immediate sister that the father was not. After that one, this is third daughter, this is fourth daughter. I'm the first son of Eze Samuel Kenega Nwonyegwa. We are saying here that we are one family, that I'm not a land grabber, and what Mr. Benga have done, I've damaged my image.
Others who spoke, including Nyegwa's lawyer, described Benga's statement as faulty, baseless, and unreliable, as they requested him to tender apologies.
We know him as a businessman. He's not a land grabber. He's a successful businessman. So I beg the pardon, whatever person that's calling him a land grabber should go and foot it, because we will not take it from the person.
Samuel Kenega Nwonyegwa belongs to the second kitchen, while Apostle belongs to the first kitchen. So it should be shared into two. So how can Apostle have sold over 98% of the entire property?
We make both to say this now. Barrister Benga, whatever he has deposed for the public should not take it for any seriousness.
It will be recalled that Benga Oladapo and his co-landlords and residents in a recent report alleged that Ambassador Stephen Nyegwa went to the estate with armed police officers from the Rumokoro Divisional Headquarters and some hoodlums to invade their properties. A report that Rivers State Police Command had since debunked, describing it as unfounded. Melvin Jackson, Rstv News.
Praise, worship, and thanksgiving were offered to God as clerics, members, and guests of Father's Church Christian Center, Port Harcourt glorified God for a successful 3-day supernatural festival convention to uplift faith, new beginning, and restoration for a new year. The tripartite celebration held at the church's auditorium in Port Harcourt was to celebrate the 50th birthday of the serving overseer, Reverend Debo Adediji, the 15th anniversary of the church, and the celebration of holy matrimony of the resident pastor, Lucky Egunenwosu, and his better half. Again, Melvin Jackson has the details.
Father's Church Christian Center, a faith-based organization with a vision to raise people who will be positive influence at the Father's heart in their generation, and a mission to teach people to understand the depth of the Father's love, become vessels of honor for the world to taste godliness, made it to the altar to celebrate God's faithfulness. In an exhortation, serving overseer of the church, Reverend Debo Adedeji, called on members to reflect on their life's achievements to know if they could do anything without God's faithfulness, stating that because God is on their side, that's why enemies couldn't swallow them up. The celebrant admonished them to hold on to God, thank Him for what He has done, for His continued grace and love in their lives.
We can describe the journey of Father's Church Christian Center as the journey of grace. From inception to date, it has been God. It is not what we have done or our imagination or our calculation that has brought us here, but the grace of God that has been effectively working in our lives as a church and as an individual. So it's been God's grace all the way.
Giving his message titled Things Don't Just Happen, guest preacher Yemi Graceman Aduloju, who read Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20, said, when Christians pray, things happens, adding that prayer changes things, and admonish Christian faithful not to relent in prayers, as it is the master key to unlock every situation.
Things happen when you pray. If you keep quiet, your matter go remain quiet. It no go change. A closed mouth, a closed destiny. Please don't keep quiet. Pray. Prayers change things.
As a way of giving back to the society, the serving overseer also inaugurated a 3-man committee to oversee the educational foundation of the church, which he named MAD, meaning Make a Difference.
A society without well-educated people amounts to nothing. And so one thing I know about Father's Church Christian Center is that it is a church that is built solidly on Christ. I am standing to assure my serving overseer that with the caliber of persons that he has put together to pilot the affairs of this education committee, the sky was going to be a stepping stone that will enable us raise children who are going to bring about transformation in our generation.
At the birthday celebration, family members, friends, and well-wishers took turn to compliment and eulogize the celebrant Debo Adedeji, whose charisma and dedication to service to God and humanity span through ages.
Being selfless, wherever I find myself, I just try to like illuminate light everywhere, and that is one thing that stands out from my daddy for me.
My dad is a very kind, loving, he's not gentle. He can be tough, but one thing about my dad is my best friend.
Everybody is very blunt, but he's a very nice person. Very nice. He could abuse you, but he has a very wonderful spirit.
He's a man with a very, very good heart, a very large heart. Among all our friends that we went to school together, I'm sure we are still the closest and we're staying in touch for a long time.
That's all the message God gave me. Said I should say to you, this is the beginning of greater things to come in your life.
The celebrants, who expressed gratitude to God for his mercies and love, also advised Christians to hold onto God, live a faithful life to enjoy God's grace.
Just follow God. It pays to serve God, and God will always be there for you. Like I've been saying, my journey is a journey of grace, and God's grace has kept me. So I look forward to see years of multiple grace ahead.
There was cutting of birthday cake, toasts, and dance as live band was on hand to thrill guests, while sumptuous meal was served. Melvin Jackson, Rstv News.
House of Representatives has called on the federal government to take urgent steps towards restoring the lost glory of Nigeria's first-generation universities, including Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, University of Ibadan, and the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, among others. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion sponsored by Honorable Aderemi Oseni during plenary session. The motion titled, "Need to Upgrade First-Generation Universities and Investigate the Quality and Standards of TET Fund Projects Across Federal Universities of Nigeria," received overwhelming support from lawmakers. Honorable Oseni noted that the first-generation universities established in the early 1960s once represented the pinnacle of academic excellence, boasting world-class facilities, highly qualified lecturers, and an environment that attracted global recognition, but at decades of neglect, inadequate funding, and infrastructural decay have eroded their once enviable status. The lawmaker further expressed concern over the poor quality of tertiary education trust fund intervention projects, alleging that many recently completed projects are already showing signs of decay, unlike structures built over 6 decades ago. Lawmakers also urged the federal ministries of Education and Finance, the National Universities Commission, TET Fund, and development partners to collaborate on modalities for rehabilitating and upgrading first-generation universities. Meanwhile, the House mandated its committees on university education, TET Fund, and other relevant bodies to investigate completed and ongoing projects in tertiary institutions across the country, ensure compliance with standards, and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is the task we must accomplish. Still to come, 10 tourist local pilots die in plane crash in Kenya. And in sports, NPFL, Rivers United break deadlock with Ikorodu City. These and more after the break. Stay tuned.
Corruption not in my country.
Una know say na the man be this. If una vote for him, he go settle am well. Now the rice and the vegetable be this. It all set. Only to remain na mobilization money. So
1.85 billion last.
Billion.
That's how you call last election, no? School, we no see. Hospital, unko, for where? You don't go sell your vote, chop money, clean mouth. Bring our own money too now.
Come on, let's be reasonable now.
Yes, now. Since you know if you build school and hospital, make you bring the money, we go build them.
Mama Biodu, say something now.
Make you not be like, say I no one help. Oh yeah, the 1.8 last.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, with support from the MacArthur Foundation and with broadcast support from the Rivers State Television.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
You're welcome back. Now to the rest of our stories. Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps, Correctional Fire and Immigration Services Board has released the names of candidates shortlisted for the paramilitary agency's recruitment computer-based test. In a statement by the secretary to the board, retired Major General Abdul Malik Jibril in Abuja said the agency urged candidates who applied for recruitment into any of the 4 paramilitary agencies to visit its official web recruitment portal at https://recruitment.cdcfib.gov.ng from Thursday to check if they had been shortlisted, as well as centers for the computer-based test. Jibril said the shortlisted candidates are requested to take note of the venue, date and time scheduled for the CBT. The statement enjoined applicants to take note of the correct portal address highlighted to avoid being scammed. Reports say at least 1,911,141 Nigerians applied for the board recruitment exercise. Nigeria's Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has deployed over 10,000 operatives to ensure adequate security during the forthcoming Anambra State gubernatorial election scheduled for November 8. The Commandant General of the Corps, Professor Ahmed Audi, ordered the deployment, which includes tactical forces from the Corps' national headquarters in Abuja. Babawale said the Commandant General had addressed state commandants and heads of tactical squad, warning politicians and their supporters against any actions or statements capable of inciting violence before, during, and after election. The spokesperson noted that the Corps, alongside other security agencies, will monitor the election process and provide protection for electoral materials and officials on duty. In a related development, the Nigeria Police Force has also announced plans to deploy 45,000 officers across Anambra State for the election. The force also stated that vigilante groups would not be allowed to operate during the exercise. INEC had disclosed that about 2.8 million registered voters are expected to participate in the poll, while 11 out of 13 scheduled pre-election activities had already been completed. The Nigerian Red Cross Society, Anambra State chapter, has sensitized residents in vulnerable communities, including children, youths, and persons living with disabilities on the importance of vaccinations to boost routine immunization across the state. During the exercise, which began at the Red Cross headquarters in Oka, data collectors were trained as part of Saving Lives and Livelihood Project, funded by the MasterCard Foundation and supported by the African Center for Disease Control. Speaking at the program, the Anambra State Branch Secretary of the Red Cross Society, Kingsley Okoye, described the 6-month project as a critical milestone in efforts to strengthen capacity for preparedness against disease outbreaks. Okoye said the society employs innovative approaches such as animations to raise awareness of immunization and encourage vaccination, reaffirming its commitment to supporting vaccination efforts amid a global decline in vaccine uptake. The national and primary healthcare development agencies, in partnership with the Nigerian Red Cross Society, had on August trained 35 data collectors to boost routine immunization in 3 local government areas of Anambra State. And on the foreign scene, 10 Hungarian and German tourists along with a Kenyan pilot were killed when light aircraft they were traveling in crashed. The plane was ferrying them from resort town of Diani on the Indian Ocean to the world-famous Masai Mara National Reserve. Samuel Otobai brings us more.
Officials say the plane burst into flames on impact, leaving a charge wreckage at the site in a hilly and forested area at Kenya's Queens region. Witnesses say they heard a loud bang and upon arriving at the scene, found unrecognizable remains. Operating airline Basa Air Safari said he failed to communicate after taking off that the control tower had tried to reach him for 30 minutes before the plane was located. Investigators from the country aircraft accident investigation department has been deployed to the site to begin an inquiry. Protesters have gathered outside London Downing Street to show solidarity with the people of Sudan as the country's brutal 2-year war enters a new and more dangerous phase. The Parliamentary Rapid Support Force (RSF) has seized control of the entire Darfur region, including the provincial capital, El Fasher, the army's last major stronghold in the west. Demonstrators in London call for international action and a boycott in the United Arab Emirates, which they accuse of supplying weapons and support to the RSF, allegation the UAE denies. The war for control of Sudan has already killed more than 40,000 people and displaced over 14 million, creating world's worst humanitarian crisis. Meanwhile, the leader of Sudan Parliamentary Rapid Support Force (RSF) has acknowledged the violation has taken place in El Fasher and has vowed to investigate. The RSF has been fighting Sudanese armed force for control of the country since 2023. Gives El Fasher, North Darfur provincial capital, and the army last stronghold in the region. After more than 500 days of siege, Russia said it has successfully tested a nuclear-capable, nuclear-powered underwater drone. Military analysts believe the super tornado is capable of devastating coastal regions for triggering vast radioactive ocean swells. The trial of Poseidon was in the defense of U.S. President Donald Trump, who described the testing days earlier of another new nuclear weapon system as not appropriate. Russian President Vladimir Putin oversees a test of Boyevsky cruise missile, which said had an unlimited range. He said the drone torpedo is unmatched in speed and depth and that there is no way to intercept it. Samuel Otobai, Rstv Foreign News.
And on entertainment, the performer Fake Flavor has responded to allegations of impersonating award-winning high-life artist Flavor Nabania. Mary Yoruba tells us more.
Fake Flavor claims his stage name is a tribute to the artist he admires and he has no intention of scamming anyone. According to Fake Flavor, his booking fees range from 700,000 to 800,000, which he believes is significantly lower than what the genuine Flavor would accept for performances. He maintained that his brand is built on respect and admiration, not deception. The controversy has sparked mixed reaction on social media, with some users finding his honesty amusing and others questioning the potential for public deception. Nigerian rapper Timideyo Omoniye, popularly known as Latan Ebeli, has revealed that he no longer smokes. The Zanku Krona made this known during an interactive session with fans on Snapchat recently that he quit smoking 4 years ago. In recent times, several Nigerian musicians have publicly announced that they quit or trying to quit smoking, including Don Jazzy, Peruzzi, Techno, and Kiss Daniel. K-pop group New Jeans has lost a legal battle to leave its record label Ado. A South Korea court ruled that the act's contract with the label, which runs until 2029, remains valid, but the group said it will appeal the ruling. The group's 5 members, Hani, Hain, Irene, Daniela, and Minje, announced last year that they were unilaterally leaving the agency, citing mistreatment and manipulation. Nugent said it's impossible to return to Ado and continue their activities as normal. Formed in July 2022, Nugent, whose members are aged from 17 to 21, had enjoyed rapid success before their dramatic fallout with the agency. Mary Yoruba, Rstv Entertainment News.
And in sports, Brothers United has hosted Ikorodu City in a rescheduled Nigeria Premier Football League clash. The game kicked off with both sides showing early intent. Victory Purple tells us more.
In the 6th minute of the game, Folarin found Chidara in space, but his fierce strike was parried by the Rivers United goalkeeper. 15 minutes in, the visitors maintained composure, pushing forward with confidence, but as the first half drew to a close, neither side could break the deadlock. After 5 minutes of added time, the referee's whistle confirmed a hard-fought stalemate. Following the outcome of the match, Ikorodu City move up to 5th place on the NPFL table with 15 points, while Rivers United, who still have 2 games in hand, sit in 9th position with 13 points. Two of Nigeria's foreign-born basketball stars, Kelvin Amayo and Peter Olisiemeka, have rejoined 6-time Nigerian champions Rivers Hoopers for the ongoing Nigerian Basketball Premier League playoff in Port Harcourt. Hoopers announced the arrival of Amayo and Olisiemeka 3 days into the 2025 playoff in Port Harcourt, where they are currently chasing a 7th league title and a ticket to 2026 Basketball Africa League. Amayo was instrumental in Rivers Hoopers' 8th place finish in last year's bout, averaging 16 points, 6.7 assists, 5.3 rebounds, and 2.2 steals per game. Hoopers have won their first 2 games in this year's Final 8, beating Hoops and Rad 73-50 on Monday before following it up with another 69-57 sword against Kano Pillars on Tuesday. The Nigerian Football Federation has confirmed that the Super Eagles camp for the 2026 World Cup Africa playoff in Morocco will open on Sunday, November 10 in Rabat. Nigeria, Gabon, DR Congo, and Cameroon will vie for the sole ticket in Africa on November 13th and 16th, and the winner will qualify for the Intercontinental playoff in Mexico by March 2026. According to the Confederation of Africa Football, the 2 semi-finals will be played on Thursday, November 13th, while the final will be played at the Prince Moulay El Henson Sports Complex on Sunday, November 16th. Nigerian U17's women's coach Bankole Oluwakere has apologized to fans after the Flamingos were eliminated from the FIFA U17 Women's World Cup following a 4-0 defeat to Italy in the round of 16. Speaking after the loss in Morocco, Oluwakere said the result was disappointing, but insisted that his young side would take valuable lessons from the experience. The defeat brought Nigeria's campaign to a premature end, despite showing promise in the group stage. Victory Purple, Rstv Sport News.
Do you love and care about Rebel Stated Her Peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is the task we must accomplish. That's the news at 3. I am Catherine Ago. Thanks for being part of it.